How not to go stupid with age. We all age. Unfortunately, there's no way out of this. We can, however, choose how we age. The last thing we want to happen to us one day is to be seen by the younger generations as old fools. One of the most beautiful conversations I ever had in my life was with a 98-year-old man, a man who has never stopped reading and taking interest in new things in his life. A man who lived a healthy lifestyle and looked after himself until his last day. When I met him, I was impressed. At the time, in my ignorance, I thought that once you reached a certain age, you would automatically lose your brightness. But it's not so. Of course, at 90, don't expect to have the mental reflexes of a 20-year-old, but the difference between those who have lived their lives taking good care of themselves and those who haven't is generally enormous. Let's now take a look at some strategies to combat the aging of our brain. Number 1. Maintain favorable blood pressure and cholesterol levels. There are common risk factors between heart disease and Alzheimer's disease. If you think about how the vascular system supplies blood to the brain, it makes sense that impaired blood flow can lead to damage to brain tissue. The small arteries of the brain are sensitive to increased blood pressure, and long-term hypertension can injure them. Several studies support the connection between blood pressure and brain health. Higher blood pressure correlates with poorer cognitive performance and damage to brain tissue. It has been determined that the risk of Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia has more than doubled if the systolic blood pressure is within or above the 140 to 160 millimeters of mercury range. Cholesterol plays a role in the formation of beta-amyloid plaques, a damage characteristic of Alzheimer's disease, and elevated cholesterol levels are thought to increase the production of these beta-amyloid plaques. Number 2. Check your vitamin D level. Low vitamin D levels are linked to cognitive impairment. Vitamin D is involved in the formation of memory. Several studies have associated vitamin D deficiency with an increased risk of cognitive impairment or dementia in the elderly. The optimal level of vitamin D is between 30 and 45 nanograms per milliliter. Furthermore, vitamin D is involved in the regulation of glucose and calcium transport to and within the brain, and may also protect cognition by reducing inflammation and increasing the availability of certain neurotransmitters. Number 3. Take omega-3 DHA and vitamin B12 supplements. Maintaining sufficient levels of omega-3 fatty acid in the brain is an important measure to prevent neurodegenerative diseases in later life. Studies have shown that higher omega-3 intake and circulation is associated with greater brain volume and a lower risk of Alzheimer's disease. The risk of vitamin B12 deficiency increases with age. About 20% of adults over the age of 60 are insufficient or deficient. Vitamin B12 deficiency causes many brain problems, including confusion, depression, and poor memory. A deficiency of this important vitamin has been associated with Alzheimer's disease. Since the body's ability to absorb vitamin B12 decreases with age and the vitamin is not present in plant foods, it's advisable to use a supplement. Number 4. Fruits and vegetables. Make sure your diet is rich in natural and healthy plant foods. Among fruit, berries in particular have been shown to have protective effects on the brain. Several berries have been found to slow or reverse the age-related decline in brain function in animals. Blueberries and pomegranates have shown promise in human studies, suggesting that these phytochemical-rich foods may help improve memory in the elderly. Phytochemicals found in vegetables and fruits can help relieve oxidative stress and inflammation in the brain, leading to a reduced risk of Alzheimer's disease. Number 5. Make nuts and seeds your main source of fat. In a balanced diet, it's important to have the right daily amount of fat, and research indicates that the consumption of walnuts can benefit brain function. Walnuts are rich in the essential omega-3 fatty acid ALA, and studies have linked increased walnut consumption to better cognitive function overall. Number 6. Stay away from sugars. Excess sugar can impair your cognitive abilities and also contributes to hypertension. High amounts of sugar cause dangerous increases in the blood sugar level that can lead to damage to blood vessels, and this damage has been shown to contribute to a progressive decline in brain function. Number 7. Stay active. Regular exercise has favorable effects on the brain at all stages of life. One reason is that blood flow to the brain increases during exercise, and regular exercise helps keep blood vessels healthy. In adults over the age of 60, fitness is associated with better memory, better cognitive function, and better reaction time. Exercise also helps brain tissue to produce more mitochondria, which are responsible for producing cellular energy. High levels of physical activity are associated with a significant reduction in the risk of Alzheimer's disease. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to push the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Also, don't forget to activate the notification bell. This way you'll be notified every time a new video is uploaded on the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.